Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming to my YouTube channel. On my last video, I talked about how Christina decided to date me. How lucky I was, like a pie fall from the sky just on my head. It's something not possible for a pretty girl that much younger than me and had a good job to decide to date a person homeless, jobless, and no future. But she said she heard the voice that I should be her husband. So she just started to date me and come to me almost every day for over 3 months. I couldn't find any job. I don't have any money. Every time we go out, hang out, like go to a movie or go to a restaurant, it's always she pay. And she even paid for my rent, and she bought all the groceries for me because I don't have money. It's a shame for me. I feel so shameful, but she always comforted me. Don't think that way. I do this because I love you. It's not about a pity or something. I just want to be your girlfriend. Everybody, my friend, don't trust that. You don't believe that. They still say that she must be a government spy, come to spy on us. So after she heard that I was going to escape from China, to flee China, she gave me all the money she had saved for so many years. And she even borrowed money from her sister and her friend. And she bought me a ticket to the border city for me to run away because I could not take a bus. If I take a bus, on the way is many checkpoints, and I wouldn't be able to get through all those checkpoints. But by air, there's no problem to get to the border city. So she even prepared some document for me, like a introduction letter, or you can say that's a reference letter from a company, say that I'm a businessman, a salesperson for the company to sell like industrial cleaning products. So with that document, I was able to make people to think that I'm a businessman. So they don't think too much about me. And she also helped me get a border travel permit, so I can travel inside China in the border area with that permit. With all those documents, I still cannot cross the border. So with that, In the reference letter, I cheated. I keep on telling some the local business people in the border area. I tell them I'm a businessman from the big city. I come here to do business. And I need to cross the border to sell the products to the Burmese people. And one of the businessmen believed me. And he helped me to get through the border. And if for myself, I wouldn't be able to do it. It's, all these things is thanks to Christina. That part I got through. When I was in prison in China, I had a Burmese friend who was also a political prisoner that tried to help Chinese get democracy. This is, we are comrades. So in that prison, I met a guy doing that, and he told me if I get to the border town in Burmese side, I could go to a friend of his friend, and this friend can help me to travel to Thailand. When I get there, I couldn't find this friend. I asked many people, nobody knows this friend. I guess for many years, either he got arrested by Chinese authority or he moved away. I wasn't prepared for this. All my hope was to get this friend help so I can get to Thailand easily. Now what am I going to do? Terrible. I became desperate. I tried many ways, tried to see some people who drive. I tried to talk to those people. I said, anybody can help me to the border to Thailand? Some people told me they can, but they ask a lot of money. At that time, because I was, pretend to be a businessman and pretend to be a rich person before I crossed the border, I spent a lot of money. So the 10,000 yuan, that's about $2,000. That's big money by then. I have spent almost half. So now I don't have enough money to have these people to help me get to Thailand. So after tried 2 or 3 days, my money get running lower and lower, and I have no hope to get to the border easily. So I decided to take a risk. I hired a motorcycle to take me just to about 20 kilometers from the border area to the hill bottom of the forest mountain area. So I checked on the map, crossed that mountain, would be another big city, and in that city is closer to the Burma and Thailand border, and that city is almost 100 kilometers away from Chinese border, so I would be safer over there. So this motorcycle just dropped me off at the hill bottom. I was lucky at that time. I already learned how to speak local dialect when I was in the prison in China. So in that area, they all speak the same local dialect. And a Chinese company was trying to build a road across that mountain area. So I got all those information from the motorcyclist. So I just directly walked through quite some distance till dark and walked through everybody. When they asked me, I just speak the local dialects, and when they asked me, I say, oh, I'm the one in the company to build the road. I'm the employee. And I continued to walk. And when it was dark, a Burmese soldier has his gun pointed at me. I still speak the local dialect, and asked me, what are you doing here? I said, oh, I come with the company to build the road. He said, this is the wrong way. You should go back to the hill bottom. That's the base. Everybody there. I said, okay. I just come out for to the bush to release myself, and now I get a little bit lost. Thank you for telling me the direction. Then that soldier didn't ask me further question. He's gone. From that moment, I dare not to walk through the trail anymore. The very poor conditioned trail have soldiers. It looks so, now it's so real. So I dare not to walk through the trail. So I have to avoid the trail. I have to walk through the jungle. So the no road. It's terrible. I wasn't prepared. I didn't bring water. I didn't bring any equipment or any good shoes. I still wear the same shoes. The leather shoes. It's not good for hiking, for walking in the jungle. But I still have to wear that. That jungle area is altogether is about 50 kilometers on the trail. Now, without going through the trail, it should be more than that. I walked and walked and walked. There are animals, wild animals, dangerous wild animals, and poisonous snakes, and all kinds of bugs. It's a tropical area. It's all those kind of things. I walk uphill, and it's so exhausting. I was so scared. So I keep on praying. I prayed to Buddha. I prayed to Allah. I prayed to Jesus, Lord, God, Allah, Buddha, help me. I'm scared. And amazingly, 10 years before that, my uncle told me to believe in Jesus, and he wanted me to read the Lord's Prayer to them. I read to them a couple of times, and at that moment, after over 10 years, I never believed in Jesus, never thought of the Lord's Prayer, and the whole piece of the Lord's Prayer come to my mind. Our Father, who are in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. I prayed and prayed. And to scare the wild animals, I sing, because it's midnight, so scary. I sing loudly. I sing the 500 miles, because that's so much just like my situation, 500 miles. Lord, I'm one, Lord, I'm two, Lord, I'm three, Lord, I'm four, Lord, I'm 500 miles away from home. It is so scary, so exhausting. By the time I reached to the mountain top, it's already 2 or 3 o'clock in the early morning. The moonlight came up, and suddenly I saw a plastic container, and I took it and shook it, some liquid inside. Might be water. So I opened it, no strange smell. So I tried and drank. Wow, such sweet water. So good. That's, I think, at least 2 or 3 liters of water. It was so sweet. That's already over 10 hours. I didn't eat anything. I got hungry, but I don't have any good food. I only have that biscuit. But with this water, I could eat some biscuit. After I ate some of the biscuit, I feel better. I get more strength. I could continue to walk. I walked, and by the morning, around 10 o'clock, it was so hot. I walked to a very small village. I think it's only 10 or 20 houses, a small village in the mountain, in the jungle area. As one woman was selling some only sticky rice and some water. That's the only thing she was selling. But that's good for me. I bought some of the water and bought some of the sticky rice and ate some. I get more strength to continue to walk. I was wearing the leather shoes. My feet all burning. But I couldn't stop. I dare not to stop. And continue walk through the jungle. Whenever I see somewhere like a military things, I would avoid the trail again and go through the jungle again, walk and walk. By the afternoon, I already walked over almost 24 hours. I feel so exhausted. I couldn't walk anymore. I didn't sleep. I didn't, take a rest. I couldn't walk anymore. And suddenly, there was a construction truck, although it's a Chinese, but I couldn't walk anymore. So I just signaled to the driver and asked him to take me for some distance. I was lucky. This man is a good man. He led me in, drove me about 10 kilometers, and then told me, get off here and go through the river, because in front there would be a checkpoint. That's a very good driver. So I got off his truck and went to the river. I was so thirsty. I drank a lot of water through the river. I don't care if the water is dirty or no. I just drink a lot of water and eat all the biscuits I still have. And after that about 10 kilometers of truck ride, I got a good rest, I think. And in the river, I washed my face and had a good rest. Then continued walk to the city, towards city of Kindong. After I reached to Kindong, I had to find somebody who would be willing to take me to the border to Thailand. I asked many people. There's only one person said that he could do it. He took me to his house, and he and his family all had dinner. They didn't invite me for dinner, and they didn't ask me whether I want a dinner. They only want my money. Then I realized this man wouldn't help me. He only wants my money. I come to danger again. He asked for my money, and I told him, I don't have the money. And I don't think you would be able to help me. He said, you must give me money, otherwise I will hand you to the military officer, and they will lock you up in a cage for months and beat you up. And every day you only have one banana to eat. And your family have to send the money, thousands and thousands of dollars before you get released. You better give me the money now, I might be able to help you. I know what he said is true, but the money given to him wouldn't do any good to me. I don't think he would be able to help me, and plus, he didn't care because he didn't ask me for whether I'm hungry. So I refused to give him any money. Then his family called a military officer to the house to arrest me. I thought, I'm finished. Now I'm in the hand of the Burmese military. And I know what that guy said was true, because in the prison in China, that friend in the prison also told me the same story. I know that would be true. And this military officer took me to their base and wanted to lock me up. But before he locked me up, I think he just was curious, asked me, why you want to go to Thailand? I thought, anyway, I'm finished. If I don't tell him, whether I tell him or no, probably I'm finished. So then I just told him, I'm a political prisoner in China and have no way to survive in China. So I have to escape. I want to go to Thailand and go to the American embassy, and maybe they can help me to get to the Western countries. Thank God. This military officer changed his attitude right away. Immediately, he asked somebody, brought me a good meal, meat, vegetable, rice, a warm meal with some drinks, some tea. That's such a treat. And this military officer asked me, do you still have some money? I said, I only have 300 US dollar and about 17 or 1800 Chinese yuan. He said, don't worry, I will help you to get to the border. But I only need the 300 US dollar. The Chinese money you still need to use when you get to the border. The next day, early morning, he already had a driver ready for me. He only took that 300 US dollar and told the driver to drive me to the border. All the way, there's 3 or 4 checkpoints, and the driver deal with them, and they never bothered me. And on the way, the driver even bought some very good meal for me. All the way, I was treated like a noble guest, noble customer. I was so moved. this officer could do that to me. After we arrived in the border town, Touch Lake, the driver even found a cheap hotel room for me and to help me to check in, although I don't have any ID. Lord, this is a miracle. I have been told many stories on this way. Everyone was telling me that when the military officer get any illegal immigrant, they will keep that immigrant, the person and as a ransom, and ask their family send a lot of money. But this officer did this to me. I think God heard my prayer. God will make a way. Thank you for listening to me. Please help me to share this video to others and subscribe and click the likes and give me more courage to talk more. See you next time.